You want to learn how to use a multimeter? Great choice. A multimeter is one of the most essential tools in electronics. I will show you how to measure voltage, current, resistance, and more. You will see the options for AC and DC measurements. We will focus on DC because that is what we need for electronics, and it's safer to stay away from wall plugs. Here are two multimeters I will be using today: the Fluke 107 and the Stern MUL285. Regardless of the brand or model, all multimeters share the same basic functions. And this is what you will be using to make contact: the probes. You can also improve your probes with sets like this. It lets you exchange normal probes with banana plugs, alligator clips, and hook lids. They make it way easier to keep things connected without having to hold the probes the whole time. To use the multimeter, first connect your black probe to the port level COM, which stands for common, and your red probe to the port marked with a V, an ohm, or a current symbol, depending on what you're measuring. These are the standard connections you will use for voltage, resistance, and continuity. Let's measure the voltage of a battery. To measure DC voltage, set the dial to the V with a straight and dashed line. Touch the black probe to the negative terminal and the red one to the positive. If you switch them, you will see a negative reading, and that's actually useful because it can tell you polarity. What I really like about the Fluke multimeter Fluke sponsored me is that it has auto range, meaning it can automatically move from volts to millivolts, and the same for current and other measurements. While in the other one, you need to manually adjust for all of them, either with the range button or the wheel for amps. Now measuring current works differently. This is the only time you will change the probe position. Current flows through the multimeter just like a wire, so you have to place it in series with your circuit. If you accidentally try to measure voltage while in current mode, you will create a short, so be careful. Some multimeters have more than 3 probe connections. In this case, you need to choose depending if you are measuring up to 500 milliamps or 10 amps. To measure resistance, set your multimeter to the ohm symbol. However, at the moment of the measurement, the component must be disconnected from the circuit, otherwise you will get false readings. This works for resistors, potentiometers, or even checking the resistance of a wire. Continuity mode checks if a wire or connection is still good inside. If all is okay, you will hear a beep. However, if there's resistance or a break inside, it will beep inconsistently or not at all, meaning the cable might be damaged or not well plugged. Sometimes the gray line indicating the negative side of a diode disappears because of handling or scratching, so with the diode function we can figure out the polarity. A positive voltage reading means the probes are in the right position, otherwise you will get a reading of 0. If you want to measure the capacitance, meaning the storage capacity of a capacitor, first make sure the capacitor is fully discharged or it could damage the multimeter. The hold button is pretty simple, it just freezes the current reading on the screen. Another thing we can do is frequency reading, like a PWM signal coming out of a microcontroller. To simulate this, I'm going to use my function generator to create a square signal. While both can read frequency, this one has a percentage sign, meaning that it can also read duty cycle. Finally, this multimeter is capable of reading transistor gain. Just place the transistor in the proper slits and compare the reading to the datasheet. You now know how to use a multimeter for your electronic projects. To let me know all of this information was useful to you, drop this video a like and let me know what I should cover next. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.